Welcome back to the channel. Today is episode 1 of Chiang Mai to Pong, Thailand. In this episode, we will be covering some of the back roads that we took, like this famous road right here, the 3-3. It's just a 3 curves. Many people go out there to get their videos done on these bikes, but to get there is actually an adventure because the roads to get there aren't very good. But we did it, and we had a lot of fun doing the 333. We had 18 bikes to stay with us. And this video will be covered 3 days, because to get to Pong actually does take 3 days. It's at the end of a road called at the end of the road of Thailand, means you can't go any further. But this mission was, we were taking school supplies to a refugee camp in Myanmar. That would be the highlight of this trip. It's a refugee camp that doesn't have any electricity or running filter water, so a lot of the kids and stuff get sick. But anyway, we were going out there to help out the school there. But first we had to get there, and getting there would be a chore. We opted to go all back roads on this trip. Yes, we could have gone the fast way, but the adventure is in the roads itself. So these roads are pretty good. They do start to get quite twisty. And the views are gorgeous. I can't complain about the views at all because we had some great views. With 18 bikes, it actually made for a great riding day. And we actually all pretty much stayed together, riding about consistently at the same speed. But as you can see, some of these turns get to be a little bit hairy. And it's like back-to-back turns. It's not like you do one turn and go 500 yards. Yeah, these are like totally back-to-back. The video has been sped up a little bit, so. But yeah, we got our twisties in for the day. But if you like our channel, will you hit the subscribe button and give us a like? That will help support our channel. Yeah, we're still going through all these and the road kept getting narrower too, which meant the road is going to be getting much more difficult, and it did. We started having a lot of sand and debris, and obviously dogs on the road. There were a lot of dogs. Oh yeah, and cow poop. Yeah, you have to dodge cow poop on the road too, and sometimes elephant poop too. And just imagine if you had a car coming at you, how narrow this road is, and how careful we had to be on some of these curves. But look at the view, it's just gorgeous. I mean, you can't get this from a car. You're actually feeling the wind and stuff. But here's a switchback, to another switchback, and probably to another switchback, and another switchback. So when I tell you this road was kind of fun, it really was fun, because we got to parts of the road where it was such narrow switchbacks that we were literally in first gear going around these curves just to make it up the hill. But it's all in the adventure of the traveling on a motorcycle. But we had a great bunch of people riding with us on this trip. We had one guy that put the whole trip together, came up with the idea, and then we all kind of pitched in, and it turned out to be a great ride. But we did a few different things, as you'll see coming up in the video. But look, it's just gorgeous. I mean, this is just out in the middle of nowhere. See the stand on the road there? We had to be very careful. But the road kept getting smaller and smaller, and more sand and more sand. And we stopped at the elephant sanctuary. These animals are not used for anything. They are rescued animals, so they're being rehabbed. So we went there to have coffee, to feed them bananas. It supports the cause, which is great. I support, you know, any good causes to save the animals, and elephants especially, close and dear to my heart. And we were back on the road again after a quick break. Back to the switchbacks. Mike will even tell you I'm not a switchback fan, but I do just fine on them. But there were just so many things on this road that just made it so hairy. See? Look at that's a big sand patch right there. But the scenery was just gorgeous. I mean, I can't complain about that. Just the road conditions. But the road kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. In the description, I will list the roads that we took for this ride. They're kind of hard to explain because we actually started from Chiang Mai, went to Khoi to Mesa, Mesa to Pong. So it was quite an adventure, you could say, to get to where we are actually going. But I wanted to make sure you got plenty of what the roads would be like if you decided to go on this route. And if you're an avid motorcyclist and you like adventure, you'd probably love doing this ride. Not many people do it. It's called the end of the road when you get to Pong, because you can't really go any further other than into Myanmar. And most of the time you can't get into Myanmar because they're having a civil war there. But we had some contacts, and since we were bringing supplies to the refugee camp, we actually got to go into Myanmar, which was awesome, which you will see coming up in the video very shortly. But first we had to get there, and we had to keep riding. And these were long riding days. These weren't like 3 or 4 hours. We were on the bikes for 7 or 8 hours a day. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, I was just beat. Everybody went to go drink, and I'm like, can I just sleep, please? And I did. I think it's one of our friends, Mark, that I'm following right here on the bike. And there's a lot of village life out here. It's very rural, so the houses aren't quite like you would find in the cities. They're more of the lumber type, or the wooden or teak houses. Let's get some more curves in. If you ain't doing the curves, you ain't riding, apparently. That's what I've heard. But my preference is I like going dirt biking, so I like the adventure riding off-roading, which you'll see coming up in this video. We actually did go off-roading. Here we are waiting to get into Myanmar, the refugee camp. All of us bikers are lined up just waiting. We're waiting for the army to give us permission to go in, essentially. But here's all of our bikes. Here's like this little village that's right outside. And the little kid was so cute. And here's where we are entering the refugee camp to go visit the school. And wait until you see the roads we have to ride on. It's very much very rough riding here. But this is how they live in this camp right here. As you can see on the right and the left, these are like their little huts they live in. They don't have electricity or running water. These are all refugees from Myanmar that are trying to escape the civil war that's going on there. But this is a very realistic view of the camp. Yeah, the road was really, really difficult. It was very bumpy and very loose sand and not very well maintained. I think I ended up passing him because speed was like the key to doing this road, and he was just going very, very slow. But my CB 500X did wonderfully on this road. We actually had to go in quite a ways to get to the school. Yeah, this is I'm passing him. Sometimes if you go too slow, it's more dangerous than if you're going a little bit faster. It's just about speed. Well, now I was flying. I was doing pretty good here. And here, that's a tractor right in front of us right here. It's like one of their farming tractors. It's so different. This turn up here became very hairy for everybody. It's like a turn and a big dip, and God, I did slow down for that. And this road was not even better than the other road, but we're almost to the school here, so you'll see us pulling up into the schoolyard. I felt bad for the people that were two-upping because that would just be so hard to ride on this road. It was hard to ride with all of our gear on our bikes. Yeah, this is us pulling into the school. This is literally their driveway. And this is the school right here. They don't have... We are just lining all of our bikes up because we're about ready to leave. The kids will be able to come sit on our bikes. And many of them have never even seen a big bike before. So having 18 bikes show up here is a big deal to them. And it was also my birthday on this day, so I got to pass out candy, which was really, really cool. We gave the kids lots of candy on this day. I actually ended up going back around through all the classrooms and giving them more candy because, well, I just didn't think they had enough the first go around. But they're very respectful. You know, they're learning 5 languages at the school. And they were all very polite and yeah, they would line up and get their candy and go back to their classrooms, but they're all super cute. I mean, they're just adorable. But they don't have any running water here, so they really are in desperate need of a filtration system, and we're hoping to be able to do that sometime this year. But it is kind of a big task to take on because you can't just do it for the school. You need to do it for the whole village because the school will become a center point for people to just come get water at. So it would have to be a whole village. But here I'm just giving out lots and lots of candy. They loved it, of course. What kid doesn't like candy? And we're done doing that, and we're back on the road, and our next stop is a waterfall that we're going to be visiting. But as you can see, the scenery is quite pretty and beautiful. And then we went rafting. Yes, 18 bikers go rafting down a river for 3 hours together. It was quite entertaining, but it was very lovely at the same time. I mean, the only big issue was that we ordered like 5 boats and they gave us 4 boats, so we eventually got the 5th boat. But yeah, it was actually some gorgeous scenery. We just floated down the river. We even had to stop at a hot springs to defrost because it was actually kind of cold this day. But it's a big canyon that you float down. It takes about 3 hours. And then we're back on the road again. And now we were coming to visit a waterfall, which was actually very cool. Many people went swimming in it. I actually got into it, but it was very, very ice cold, and I don't like cold things, so I quickly jumped out of the water, but lots of people went swimming. And then on our very last day, we wanted to go meet with the army to see if they could help us set up the water filtration, but we had to get there and we had to go on this dirt road. And most of the people didn't make it because their bikes weren't equipped to do this. I'm on an adventure bike, so I didn't really have any problems doing that. I did quickly find out that speed was very important to just keep my speed up I seem to get through things a lot easier than if I was going very slow. If you like watching our videos, if you could give us a like and a subscribe, that would be awesome. All the support goes to the channel, and we have many more adventures coming up. In 2 days' time, we will be heading from Chiang Mai, Thailand to Siem Reap, Cambodia. So, yeah, this road was not fun at all. Yeah. But it's all in the adventure.